try to dim mismatch on this one. It'd be pretty easy to do. If you make it to dim mismatch, you know what it is now. Isn't it nice having the technological shortcuts? Sweet Jesus, yeah. I mean, even though Excel can't do it well, it can still do it if you formulate it correctly. But my Lord, this is wonderful.
We should turn plot 2 off because there's only one.
Why not? Hey, Kelly, thank you for that, by the way. If you do a Zoom stat, if you set up Zoom 9 and run a Zoom stat, what I'm going to get an error if I do that because I just erased L3. And if plot 2 is still turned on, it's going to give me an error because it's trying to plot a list that's not there anymore. Kelly just said something extraordinarily frustration preventing. Whenever you get done working with a data set, you might want to go turn everything back off. Turn all the y equals off, turn all the plots off. Thank you, Kelly. That's a very frustrating thing. I've seen students sit for hours trying to do math in a calculator that is not working for them. And it has nothing to do, the errors have nothing to do with what they're doing, but what the TI is trying to do but can't. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Very, very good. Very, very good.
I thought you
Say that again?
Oh, it's just looking up at yours.
I got a little
There.
talking on.
I got a little what going on? Oh, it's okay. Don't worry. Did you press graph? That's why. Zoom stat. Your plot's turned on, but it's somewhere out of the window. Thank you for that. Now, hang on. I'm just getting caught up with you guys. All right, I got an average of 5. Good. Aaron looks up and goes, what the hell? 5? I got an average of 5. There were 9 answers, and the average is 5. Wrong. Why is it wrong? I didn't count the frequencies. You're laughing at me now. Good for you. But this is the kind of thing when you're working by yourself, this is a very easy mistake to make. 1 bar stats, enter, boom, there's the average. That assumes that one person sent 0, one person sent 1, one person sent 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 6, 1, 8, 1, 9, 1, 12. That's 9 data points, each one at a time. And that average is 5, with a pretty wide standard deviation of 4. That is not what it actually is, though. More people sent 9. So let's go ahead and make sure I do this right by putting L1 and L2 after it. Yes, thank you for that.
How did you get to change it? What did you press?
Oh, magic. This is a magic trick some of you might not know. If you do something like I did where you do it wrong by pressing 1 bar stats and you're like, ah, crap, I screwed up. Second enter recalls the last thing you typed. And then you can fix it. This is a trick from Math 95 I used to teach my kids all the time. Second enter recalls the last thing you typed and then you can mess with it. So that comes in handy. Suppose you have L1, L3 and you should be L1, L2. It saves you all that second button pushing. Go, now just fix it. L1, L2, yes? Cool? Here we go. I got an average of 3.3 texts. I got a standard deviation of, it's about the same standard deviation actually, it's about 4 again. Eric, ask me that question. Ask me that question. Oh, okay, I just what I'm getting. Are we matching? We matching our data? Oh, chances are it's a simple data entry error somewhere. I wouldn't worry about it too. If they're close, I wouldn't worry about it. Honestly, I wouldn't worry about it very much at all. I want to talk about him momentarily. You can ignore him. Notice how he's, speaking of close, he's pretty close to him. You might be wondering what the hell he is. We'll come back to him. We'll come back to him. So, average, 3.3 texts. Standard deviation, about 4 texts. So on average, we're about 4 texts away from 3.3, which some astute students are going to go, what the hell, wait a minute. If you subtract 4 from 3.3, you get a negative number of text. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Good. Oh, maybe you weren't thinking about that, you are now. Like, wait a minute, negative texts, what the hell does that even mean? Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind for a moment. Have you made a histogram of this yet? Made a histogram? Good, good for you. Zoom, 9, there's a histogram. You can, anybody finagle with it? For practice?
Yeah, X-scale 1.
Good! I just pressed Zoom 9. Zoom 9 is a go-to good graph screen. Zach, that's why you couldn't see yours originally, right? Zoom 9, what that does is it automatically gets you into a place where you can see your data and all the frequencies in the TI's favorite way. JT's got a great vote. I love his vote. His vote was to change X scale to 1. I love that. Window, mess around. Right now it's set to 2 with an X minute 0. You can change X scale to 1. What this will do is, how will it change the number of bars you now see? They'll be closer together and there will be fewer of them? More of them, because they're narrower, which means you've broken them up into twice as many bars. You can also, if you want, you can change the 14 to 13. That might not make a whole lot of sense. I'll explain it momentarily. I'll explain this momentarily. Yeah, Janelle's like, what the hell? We'll come back to that. I'll explain why momentarily. Now you press graph. There it is. Notice how it looks kind of like the other one? Just the bars are smaller. Right, good. The reason, Janelle, I changed it to 13 and not 14. This is a continuous number line, but our data is discrete. So this right here, this bar right here, that represents the number of zero text students in the room. There's 9 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But this has to span a distance on the number line, so it spans 0 to 1. This spans 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. There's your no 5s. No bar, 5 to 6. 6 to 7, 7 to 8, no 7s. 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, no 10s, right? 11 to 12, 12 to 13. If you cut X max at 12, you won't see your last bar. So for some, and this is just the way the TI graphs discrete, you have to give it X max 1 more than your highest value to see that bar. Do you see now why the standard deviation gives you negatives when you subtract it from the average? Your average is like here. 3.3 is over here. Do you think that's a fair discussion about what's actually going on in the room as far as an average goes? Would you call that bell-shaped data? I don't think anybody in the room is going to call that bell-shaped data, correct? Nobody in here is going to call that bell-shaped. That's highly skewed. Remember the discussion we had about a week and a half ago about what to do with skewed data? What's a better indicator of center with skewed data? Pretty much everything except the average. Yeah? Use the median, for example. Hey, look, check it out. Do your 1-bar stats again. Scroll down to your median. Use that instead. 2. Just about half of what the average is. Because that's what the halfway point is. What's the mode? What was the mode for that data? 0. Most of you didn't send any. I shouldn't say most of you. The highest frequency sent no texts today at all. Please, tell me your name again, too.
Allie.
Allie, thank you.
What did you do to just get that?
Scroll down. 1-bar stats, if you scroll down, you'll get the median as well. And you'll also get some other goodness that we'll play with next week.
No. Is that option 3 or?
Option 3.
Should you go to?
No, just so Allie, just run 1-bar stats, right? And then scroll down. Arrow down and you'll get to it.
It doesn't scroll down.
You may have to run it again if you already graphed something. Run it a second. Run it again, Kelly. Second enter,
Second
and then hit enter again. Then hit enter, and now scroll down. It should scroll down for me now.
got it.
So this is my, remember what I said? I want you to give me the average, the standard deviation, the histogram, and a criticism? The criticism is, when you have highly skewed data, don't use the average unless you absolutely feel compelled to do so. That might be no, it's stupid for text. Who cares about text messages, right? Nobody cares about text messages. I don't care about it. You don't care about it either, probably. But skewed data, whenever I'm in the middle of negotiations right now, I'm complaining about it constantly, you guys, and I apologize for that. But they keep talking about average salaries, average salaries, average salaries, average salaries. I'm like, would you stop saying average, talk about median salaries? Why? Because I've graphed the salaries at the community colleges all over the state, and guess what? They're not. When you graph them, they're not bell-shaped. They look, here's a bell shape, right? You know what they look like? They look like this. Because once people like me get in here, we don't leave. We just keep working. Why? It's kind of fun to hang out with guys like you and girls like you. Why would I want to leave? So I don't retire. So I keep getting promoted every year, every couple of years, and I keep stepping every year. And my salary keeps going up and going up and going up. And young people come in, but not at the rate that old people are staying. So where you would expect an average, when you talk about the average salary, your mind immediately goes to the high point of a bell curve. Is wrong. You shouldn't be talking about an average with data that's that skewed. How about the medians? The medians are a better indicator of what's actually going on with those salaries. You see what I'm getting at here, friends? That's why I like looking at the graphs first before launching straight into a 1-bar stats calculation and going to an average. When you have bell-shaped data, and you often do, bell-shaped data exists all over the place. We just saw it with our heights. I saw it 244 again today with more data we collected. I had 244 time 10 seconds on a stopwatch, thinking what they thought was 10 seconds. Boom, bell-shaped data. Hot damn. Why? Hell if I know. No idea. I had him do the Inigo Montoya problem again. Remember the one I had you guys do on the first day of class? Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. What's the average length of those words? I had them do it again. I put their guesses on the board. Bell-shaped. Why? Hell if I know. Bell-shaped data does exist naturally, but so does skewed data. And that's the thing. When you have bell-shaped data, go for the average. When you don't, I'd say go for a median or something else, some other measure.
Now you say it's skewed because it was.
Oh, it's skewed because of that. It's skewed because of that.
Because one's so high.
Oh, hell yeah. Bell-shaped will look more like this, Kelly. You have this range of values, and the median or average will be somewhere in the middle of that. The mean and the averages are way to the one side. So that's where it's skewed. The average is skewed to a side.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yes.
You guys buy that? Make sense? Now, I'm going to send you home with some homework. If you want, you can also canvas. It's a quiz, so you can choose not to do it if you don't want to. But it's basically a wrap-up of averaging, variation, histogramming. It's everything we did today, but more. I was going to do it today, but you guys asked. Keep those questions coming, please. This is why I can never post what I'm going to do every day, because I never know what the questions are going to take us. Please keep asking them, though. I love them. They're great. They get right to the heart of what we're doing about. This is a quiz